Hello everyone, and how are you doing? This is Moses once again from Google PP Season, here with another video explaining to you how I spend less per click than my competitors. So if you're trying to run your Google Ads and probably you don't understand how the Google Ads auction operates, I have another video on that. On this video, I'm going to explain to you guys how I spend less than my competitors on Google Ads. So I'm going to share with you here one of the campaigns that I've been working on for 2 to 3 months. And as you can see here, this is a report I got from Google, and they are telling me that I'm spending $4, which is the actual amount I'm spending, just about $4 per click, whereas my competitors that we are competing with in the same auction are paying $5.55. So it may appear as if that is a small difference, the $1.50. But if you spread that over a month, also depending on the budget, that might actually generate 200 or 300 clicks more than your competitors, and that might be a tipping point in terms of how much you're making. It may determine whether their ads are profitable and yours are not. As you can see also, the CTR, I'm doing 10.25% as compared to the industry average, which is 8%. And this is a very, very competitive field. So I'm very proud of the work that we've been doing. This is still work in progress. I'm not saying that this is perfect. We can still improve this, and we're still working on this. And we're going to make them better. But I just wanted to sneak here, guys, and explain to you how this has been made possible. So the thing about paying less is one of the more misunderstood concepts on Google. Because if you search on Google how the Google Ads auction operates, although I have an entire video explaining that, you're going to get misconceptions about like your bidding strategy, the keyword variations that you're using, and long tail keywords, and how those might affect your how much you're paying. But that is absolutely false, because how much you pay is only dependent on your quality score. So just to be clear, you can actually pay very little per click, because if your ads you're using broad match keywords, Google is just going to give you traffic for every type of search that is related to your keyword. So Google doesn't understand that you want to get just anything related to your keyword, and so it's going to give you a lot of traffic at a very low cost. But that may not actually assist you in getting to your desired target, which is to make conversions. So this video will only address those people that are using laser sharp focused keywords, targeting high intent users who are just about to convert. So those people that you are targeting that are just about to become paying customers and that kind of stuff, those are the kind of people that I'm going to address on this video, so that you can be able to understand how you can be able to pay less, how the dynamics operate, how quality score affects how much you're going to pay per click, and how ultimately you can be able to improve your ads to be able to pay less. So as said earlier, quality score is the only metric that Google uses to determine how much you're going to pay per click. And quality score, by definition, is a competitive metric that pits your ads against those of your competitors. So what Google is trying to understand, so there are probably 10 competitors that are trying to get the attention of one user. So what Google is going to understand is going to take into consideration two very important concepts. One is the keyword relevance, and number two is the expected click-through rate, the expected CTR of your ad. So on relevance is, as the word is self-explanatory, how relevant is your ad? So how is it related to what the person is searching for, and does it move them closer to solving their problems? So that is all you need to know about the relevance. So first and foremost, you need to make sure that all your ads are relevant. And number two is the CTR. So if you put your ad here and one of your competitor ads here, so how likely is your ad going to be clicked over that of your competitor? So Google does the analysis. Of course, it uses its AI and determines, because it has data over the last 30 days, it has run dozens of ads over the last 30 days, and it can be able to actually determine that this one is more likely to be clicked over this. So that becomes the basis of what the quality score component of your ad becomes, and then also that also becomes the key ingredient in in the ad auction. So this is how to get a very high quality score. So if you get a good quality score, that means you're going to pay less because your position in the ad auction is going to go over the roof. So there are three main concepts that you need to understand, and this is how you can improve your quality score. One is your ad relevance. So does your ad include the search terms in the keyword, or does it show how it will solve the problem the person searching for whatever they're searching for? So does it provide a solution to that person? And number two is the landing page experience. Is your landing page relevant and useful to the user? So two main things: usefulness and relevance. So those two go hand in hand. And number three is the expected CTR. So as I mentioned, what is the possibility of a person clicking on your ad? So this might need you to understand some basic copywriting concepts to do this, so that you can have better headlines. So it's basically, the CTR is just basically centered around the headlines that you're using. So I want to explain this with examples, and I'll try to use the example that I've been using for this on this channel, which is gym and fitness. So if I'm advertising for a gym infrastructure in Miami, so I try to use keywords such as exercise, classes, gym, fitness, weight loss in the headline and the description. So what I try to do is I actually set apart two headlines with the specific keyword as the headline. So if I'm advertising for fitness gym, for example, so I'll make sure that amongst the headlines of the 15 options that you have, make sure that you have at least two headlines talking about fitness gym. So just one, put there fitness gym, and secondly, fitness gym Miami. So that automatically becomes relevant. So that a person searches for fitness gym, they're able to see fitness gym. So you don't want to tell them something else. So because that becomes a distraction and people may think that it is not actually relevant to me. One pro tip that I can give you here, I try to use something called dynamic keyword insertion, where using the dynamic keyword insertion, you can be able to enter a counter, a location, or a keyword insertion automatically. So what I like to use, I used to like to use the city or the state in the headline. So if a person is searching for fitness gym, so on my headline, I ask Google to dynamically insert the name of the city. So when they search for fitness gym, they get something like fitness gym open now in the city, which is Miami. So as you can see, it becomes more relevant to that person. So if that person is searching in Miami, or probably in their city, they can be able to see this is actually something that is centered around my location. That automatically increases the relevance. So that is how one tip that you can use to increase the relevance of your ad. Number two is the CTR, and I'm going to explain this with an example. So as I said earlier, the CTR is basically centered around your copywriting and how much you make your headlines appealing. So there are two ways you can be able to improve your CTR, or you can be able to improve your headlines and descriptions. And one is including your offer in the headline. So basically what I try to ask the business owner, whether they have an offer or they have anything that sets them apart from the competition. So for example, you might find a gym that offers probably a 1 month free subscription. For example, they say that if you register for 3 months, you get a 1 month free. So I try to put that in the headline. So when a person searches for fitness gym, they are bombarded with something with my offer, which is fitness gym 1 month free. So that automatically, naturally, because people are wired towards getting free things, it's going to ask to make them click on the ad, and they're able to. It automatically increases my CTR. And number two is including the CTA. But you have to realize that people need to be guided into taking the desired action. So if I need them to visit a certain page, for example, if I need them to ask for direction, if I need them to buy now or to register, so I just put that on the headline. So, and that is a proven way to improve your CTR. So remember, number one, you have to include the offer in the headline, and number two, include the desired action. So if you have those two things together, your CTR is going to go through the roof. And number three is the landing page experience. So the landing pages are very important because the landing page is actually what makes people buy. So forget about the CTR, forget about the other issue that you talked about, the ad relevance. It's actually your landing page that actually makes the sale for you. So you have to be very careful. Number one, this landing page must be relevant. So the first thing you have to realize that what you're talking about in the headline, you have to make sure that the same thing you're talking about is in the landing page. For example, as I explained earlier, if this person came here because they saw there is a 1 month free, we're giving them a 1 month free subscription. So this page must also be talking about 1 month free subscription, because that is what brought them, made them click. They must be able to, the two items must be congruent. They must be working in conjunction with each other to better the performance of your campaign. But before I do that, I usually demand a few things from my web designer. One, the website must be mobile ready. So you have to realize that, and I've said this repeatedly on this channel, is that a lot of the traffic you're going to get is directly going to come from mobile. So your mobile must be ready. Your website must be mobile ready. Number two is your website must be secure. So there's a bunch of free SSL certificates out there, and there's absolutely no reason for your website not to be secure. Number three is you want to make sure that your website loads fast. So one of the major impediments of page speed is actually how quickly your page loads. So Google, there's actually a report that was published that people bounce off your page if it loads for up to, otherwise was it 5 seconds? I can't remember quite clearly. So the thing I like to do here is to try to use as light images as possible, probably just under 1 MB. And their website, there's a website called Tiny PNG or Tiny JPG that can be able to reduce images to a lower size. And secondly is the format of the images. So Google recommends that you use WEPB. I don't know how to say that, WEPB, just say web. That is how I just say that recommended format. So that is the first things that I usually demand from the web designer. So the website must be mobile ready, it must be secure, and it must load as quickly as possible. There's actually a tool by Google, we're just going to show you here, called Page Speed Insights. So the Page Speed Insight, you can be able to insert here so for example, I can just come and key this in here and run the analysis, and it's able to tell you kind of diagnoses the performance of that page, and it's able to tell you like what you can improve on mobile and on desktop. So try to ask your web designer to use these recommendations to better improve the performance of your landing page. Lastly, most importantly, is about the relevance. And first, I've explained about matching the information on your headlines as on the landing page. So if for example, I'm advertising for a gym instructor, so you're going to find there are two keywords here. There is a keyword for gym instructor and workout classes. So because I'm going to structure that to be two separate, entirely separate ad groups, I also try to make sure that I have two different landing pages for those, so that the ad is talking about a gym instructor, they come to a page that is talking about a gym instructor. The ad is talking about workout classes, the landing page talks about the workout classes. And where there is that match, there is usually an increase. Google likes that because Google wants you to make money, because it understands that if your pages are not relevant, you're going to think that Google is not effective and you're going to leave their platform. So Google actually rewards you when you do the right thing. And lastly is about usefulness. Usefulness is all about communicating concisely the call to action that you want that person to take. So I usually just go directly, or probably at the bottom of the page, tell them to do whatever I want them to do. So if I want them to register now for the membership, I tell them right away, register for the membership. If I want them to buy, ask them to buy, because at the end of the day, that is the conversion action. So you must remember that your page must be up to speed, it must be secure, and it must be mobile ready. Number two, the page must be relevant to what the headlines we're talking about, as well as the descriptions. And number three, it must be guiding that person to taking an action. So that is all about the landing page experience. Lastly, then this is a pro tip. I always advise people to check their keyword planner. So I'm just going to go to my keyword planner here. looking to keyword planner. So if I'm advertising for fitness gym, for example, fitness gym, as you can see, the top of the page bid is $1.56 and up to $5.27. So what you want to ensure is that you check your keyword planner so that you're paying just between the industry average. So I try to, as much as possible, to be below the industry lower percentile within the industry's average. So if the top of the page bid is like $1.56 to $5.27, as we've just seen, I try as much as possible to make sure that I'm paying just under $2. Because I don't want to spend too much on the clicks. So that is all, guys, I have to share on this video. So make sure that you have those 3 things in place, that your ads are relevant, you have improved your CTR, as I said, by improving your headlines and adding a call to action, and number 3, by increasing your landing page experience, making your landing page experience as good as it can be by following those simple instructions. So that's all in this video, guys. I hope you like this, and if this was helpful to you, make sure you like the video. You can share with your friends who are also starting out, so that they can also learn something and we can be able to improve